Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me in this highly condensed English class intended for second-year English majors. This is an overview of my lesson plan. These are my teaching objectives for this particular unit. The importance of vocabulary and grammar can't be stressed enough. But with students' prior learning experiences and with online dictionaries, apps, and other resources, students nowadays are capable of self-studying this part. Therefore, as an instructor, my focus has shifted to more challenging tasks. And also for this part, my focus will be mainly on checking and ensuring their progress, so that in-class discussions can be directed to more, challenging and reproduction work, such as text comprehension, critical thinking, and reproduction work. Well, to achieve these teaching objectives, I adopt the SPISM teaching model. To the delight of our teaching team, I think this model accords with the new national standards of teaching quality for undergraduate English students. My routine teaching procedures consist of pre-class, in-class, and post-class activities. Since effective learning starts way ahead of the actual class, I always attach great importance to cultivating or asking or engaging my students in the 4 autonomous learning activities. So students are to preview the text, build a personalized expression bank, set up an English podcast, and also write down their while reading questions for classroom discussions. This is a sample of my students' expression bank. And this is students' read-alouds of the target text before they come to the classroom. If pre-class and in-class activities are successfully accomplished, I think the students will be empowered to move on to reproduction work in the form of research and writing. Now, please allow me to get started with my sample teaching. Time and time again, people ask, what's the relationship between knowledge and wisdom? For instance, T.S. Eliot. Well, T.S. Eliot said this, so he urged us to find wisdom lost in knowledge and knowledge lost in information. Does Bertrand Russell agree with this idea or with this hierarchy of information, knowledge, and wisdom? Think about it, and I would like you to share your ideas and compare them. And we might, talk about it when we finish the discussion of the whole text. I know conditions didn't allow you to preview the text. So let's do a quick warm-up to tune in. Think and decide, what type of text is this one? Do you have to read through the whole long text in order to find out the answer? Good, so no, great. So let's take a look. Most people would agree, but agreement stops. I want to. So, if you're reading an essay, you might be browsing the very first paragraph for clue words that tells you the intention or the purpose of the writer's, what he's going to do. So here, I want to. Now let's see. Is this a narrative that tells a story? Ashley? Is it a narrative that tells a story?
I don't think it's a narrative to tell a story.
Good. There is no character, no story. Okay. Is it a description that describes people, things, and atmosphere?
No, I don't think so.
I agree, no. So, is this an argumentative essay that evaluates the problem and presents an opinion? Amanda?
Yes.
Good. So, Bertrand Russell is actually, centering or talking, evaluating the relationship by focusing on wisdom and present his idea. This is an argumentative essay. So, how does Russell organize his argument? Well, I hope the study card or the organizational chart will give you some idea. I think it is easier if you are aware of the transition sentences and also clue words to find the crucial meaning. Let's look at the first paragraph, for example. Where is the thesis that shows the purpose of the writing? If you're looking for a thesis or the controlling idea of the whole text or the purpose, you might be looking for words such as, my intention is to, my aim is to, I'd like to talk about, right? So what's the clue words here? Very good. I want to ask. So that is the intention. And his thesis, therefore, is to define wisdom and also how to teach it. Good. And let's try the second paragraph as well. What is the topic sentence? Well, I believe, your previous reading experiences tell you the most likely places of a topic sentence are to be found in the beginning and then, yes, the last sentence, or even in the middle. And what is the case here? Gentlemen? Where is the topic sentence?
I think the first sentence.
Good. I agree with you. That's right. Good. So that's the topic sentence. Or to put it concisely, a sense of proportion is the most important factor that contributes to wisdom. So since this is the topic sentence, we might also be looking for supporting details. Are there any clue words that might remind us that Bertrand Russell is quoting other people, giving a reason, giving statistics, or giving examples? Yeah, gentlemen, have a try.
Suppose, for example, and to take an even more spectacular example.
Brilliant. For example, suppose, and to take an even more spectacular example. So he's offering two examples to support his topic sentence here. Right. And let's try the third paragraph. So I would like to call your attention to transition sentence that connects paragraphs or that joins the previous paragraph with the present one. By the way, is it to be found? Or I think there is nowhere to be found but the... Where is it? Since it is a transition, it joins the previous and the present. It must be... It must be the... Gentlemen?
Maybe the first sentence.
Good. It is the first sentence, the transition. And also, then what is the topic sentence? That will be easier because the transition sentence introduces the topic sentence. So it must be this one. And wisdom is knowing the ends of human life. And remind you, in the previous paragraph, they also use this exemplification. What about here? Do we find examples? 4 examples for another example? Or are we looking for some words with a similar meaning? And also, since he's citing the example of a historical figure, you might be looking for a name. Ashley? Yeah, share your thoughts with us.
Hegel.
Hegel. So Hegel is the person he cites as an example. Good. And also, we'd better pay attention to the word illustrate. It's similar to exemplify, right? Okay, good. And I hope that you will be able to finish the organization chart after the class. And I'd like to remind you, this is an abridged text, so you won't find any conclusion, and also the part about how to teach wisdom is missing. So in your spare time, assume you are Russell II and reply, or supply a thesis, a restatement, a conclusion. So now that we've worked out how he organized his thoughts, his argument, let's take a closer look at the detail. May I have your attention to the last sentence? The clue words, in such ways. So still remember the 2 examples, right? The lowered infant death rate is a blessing in some parts of the world, but in Asia and Africa, it causes food scarcity. And also knowledge about atom may be used by lunatics to destruct the whole human race. So, to sum up, well, Russell was actually saying, without wisdom, knowledge may be harmful. I think this sounds particularly alarming when you think of the news about the birth of the first genetically edited babies in China. So it takes a wise scientist to stick to their professional ethics so that no Frankenstein will be created, so that no Pandora box will be opened. But is Russell seeing the whole picture? I would like you to work in groups of 4. Group 1, please brainstorm for the benefits of medical advances. And group 2, brainstorm for the benefits of atomic knowledge or nuclear knowledge. You will be given 1 minute. Is that enough? Okay, well, get started. Yeah, if you feel comfortable, you can use your digital devices to search for information, but only related to the topic. Please discuss in English. Okay, are you ready? And who's the spokesperson for your group? Okay, gentlemen. And you're going to tell us the benefits of medical advances. If you can cite examples, all the better.
I think the first is like what is mentioned in the passage is that it can lower the death rates,
Good.
and the people also can live longer.
Right.
And I think people can suffer less from those diseases.
Good. To sum up your points, you are saying medical advances help people to live longer, live better, and more qualified life. And what about the spokesman or spokesperson for Group 2? Yeah. So the benefits of nuclear technology.
Nuclear technology is sure to be clean and
Clean.
energy efficient.
Very good. Energy efficient, saving
It
energy.
must protect our environment, which is we are desperate for.
Very good. So at least the two great advantages of nuclear technology. It's clean. It saves energy. It's good to the environment. Good. So, my question, ask yourself, is Bertrand Russell's argument complete? You have mentioned with wisdom, knowledge is useful, very good, beneficial. But Bertrand Russell only sees the dark sides, and you see the positive side. So why not combine the two together? Right? So his argument is not very inclusive. And what about this paragraph? Just now you have mentioned Hegel. Right, Hegel, and he says, Hegel believed that Germany had been the most important nation and the standard bearer. Well, is that idea faulty, right, or reasonable? Think about a recent case, an Italian brand, Dolce & Gabbana, right? He took too much pride in his own culture, and he says other culture is not good at all, and what is the result? So such narrow-minded nationalism is dangerous, right? Yeah, so Russell was right in saying Hegel at this point his thought is wrong. But whenever the word Hegel is mentioned, are there any positive kind of things with Hegel? Or, see, when you hear Hegel, what is the first word that pops up into your mind? Very good. Philosophy. So his great contribution is to philosophy. He revolutionized people's thinking mode, although it might be wrong, right? So I am asking yourself, is his argument objective? Is he saying his opinion or facts? Is he objective saying, well, Hegel is such man who lacked, I call lacked wisdom. He's only seeing one side, yeah.
I think this statement is just his own opinion. It's not the fact.
Quite good. I agree with you. This is an opinion, not a fact. Or at least not all the facts.
Yes.
Right. So this is an opinion based on partial facts. Thank you for sharing your idea with us. And also now, before we call it a day, I would like to remind you, work with your study group on the following topic. Particularly, I would like you to work on the fourth one, brainstorm about patriotism, nationalism, and ethnocentrism, following the model offered in the text, giving examples, from history, right? For example, World War II. Okay, and that's all for the sample teaching. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, contestant number 14. In my observation, I found you focused on paragraph 2 and paragraph 3 of this essay, right?
Right.
So what is the main idea in paragraph 3?
Paragraph 3, well, it is actually talking about knowing the ends of human life is wisdom. So this is another factor that contributes to wisdom.
What is the last sentence of this paragraph?
Yeah, it is by no means uncommon to find men. So he's citing Hegel, saying Hegel's knowledge about certain aspect or certain discipline is wide. But, even those wide or scope of knowledge, if without the guidance of wisdom, can be faulty. Because he only concentrated on one aspect, that was the German's glory, or the so-called glory.
But the last but one sentence says, it is by no means such uncommon to find a man whose knowledge is wide, but whose feelings are narrow.
Yeah. So here, whose feelings are narrow, actually...
So the focus of this sentence is what?
Is feelings are narrow.
Okay, so...
Not the human ends of the life.
Good. So, are Hegel's feelings narrow?
From Russell's idea, it is.
Really?
He is.
But in this paragraph, okay, Russell does use Hegel as example, okay?
Right.
But what does Russell say about Hegel?
Hegel, Russell did say that Hegel had a comprehensive study of history.
Yes?
But from certain period on, he only concentrated on the glory of a single nation, rather not giving proper proportion to other parts. So this is also correspond with the first paragraph, saying having a sense of proportion is good. And also Hegel, Russell is saying Hegel does not have a broad view of the ends of the human life.
He does not have a broad view of the human life. Does that mean he does not have wide feelings?
Wide feelings. I think the argument is he's narrow-minded when he talks about his own country. But this is a particular case. So Russell doesn't discuss with us Hegel's other contributions. So he's saying Hegel doesn't consider the whole fate of the human race. He only considers the Germans.
He only considers Germans. Does that mean he's only concerned with the Germans?
From here, the answer is not given, but judging from my own view, I think no, not. This could be a very good proof to counteract Russell's opinion. He himself is not very objective or having...
Were you aware of this problem when you were preparing the lesson?
Not really. So that's the reason I quite appreciate your questioning, and I started thinking really fast in order to work out an answer to your question.
Yeah. Russell's ideas are not so easy to refute, okay?
Right.
You don't simply change your mind because I asked this question and say, yeah, Russell's essay is not well written. We have to think about what he really says in this paragraph. Why he uses Hegel as an example to support what he's trying to say.
I think this is a well-written article.
Okay.
But Russell's opinion is not objective, complete. So this is my viewpoint, actually. Hegel, certainly, we have to, just as I have shared with the students, when we evaluate person, we have to consider all aspects.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you.